What's up guys, it's Jack. Today's review is going to be of a weirdly named product, which is the GoPro Karma Grip. The grip is part of the Karma product line, which includes the drone, which is currently recalled, and then this, which is a handheld gimbal. The drone didn't get off to too hot of a start, so I'm really curious to see if this product kind of lives up to the expectations. One thing I saw right off the bat was a weird warning that they don't want you to excessively shake or vibrate the grip, which seems a little weird considering that's really the point of a gimbal. But moving on, in the case is a few accessories like a Velcro strap, USB-C to USB cable, and then a mount if you want to attach the grip to like a backpack. The device itself feels pretty nice. The plastic it's made out of seems a little bit cheap. It has a USB-C port on the bottom, which is used for charging. The GoPro attaches to the gimbal using both the HDMI and USB-C ports on the camera. According to the website, the gimbal also supports harnesses for other GoPros such as the Session and the Hero 4. Getting the Hero 5 into the gimbal mount was a bit trickier than I expected. There's not a lot of information included with the gimbal on how to get the battery door off, but it turns out you kind of just have to pull it in the right way. It'll eventually pop off. Once I managed to get the door off, then it was pretty easy. All you do is slide it into place and then close the latch and it all attached pretty easily from there. But one of my biggest complaints is that they didn't include enough information in the packaging about how to get set up. The quick start guide just seemed to be missing a few steps that should have been there. Once you get the camera locked into place, you're pretty much good to go as long as you've charged the grip. I checked for a software update, but there wasn't any at this point. And so from there, you just power it on, and once it's on, it kind of straightens out the camera, and at that point, you're pretty much ready. The controls on the grip are pretty basic. You have a record button on the top, and then you also have a power button on the left, and a highlight button to the right of that, and on the bottom is kind of the orientation and lock button, as well as a battery gauge near the base of the handle. It articulates in 3 different ways to stabilize your footage. My initial impressions were that it worked pretty well, but after using it for a few minutes, I started to notice some big problems with it. First, when you power it down, it just seems to go totally limp, and there's no way to lock the arms, so the camera just kind of bounces around. It seems like a terrible design because it's just going to put unnecessary stress on the mechanism. The second problem was that it was just really glitchy. Like when you turned off the grip, it wouldn't turn off the camera. You'd have to manually turn it off. But then some other times it would turn off the camera, and the same went with the record button. It was just unreliable. One feature I did really like was the ability to detach the gimbal portion from the handle, because I think this means that you could use the gimbal on other accessories such as the drone or new things they haven't released yet. So it's cool that they give you the ability to use it in other ways, and it seems like a good idea. My real concern with the grip is just more of a concern around the Karma line in general. It just seems to be really buggy, and like they released it without working out a lot of the kinks right now, as you can tell by what happened with the drone. I'll switch right now to some footage that I shot with the grip so you can see some of the footage for yourself. So everything from this point on, I shot with the grip in 1080p, and that was it. I didn't do anything to it. It's just straight out of the camera. The process of getting it to film these shots was one of the most buggy software things I've used as far as getting it to point in the right direction and stay looking at what you want it to look at. But I was actually really impressed with how it looked once I brought it on the computer. It really is pretty stable, and the hardware itself seems to be doing a really good job. So I think that's a real positive. But they need to get serious fast about making the software better. They just have to improve the experience. And I think overall it has potential at least. But right now I would not recommend buying it until they at least release a couple more software updates to fix a lot of the bugs. I think the biggest concern to GoPro should be whether or not they're losing the hardware battle to DJI. If they're going to be serious about the hardware, they need to step it up and figure out how to get all these little problems ironed out. I hope you liked the video. I do a new review every week. As always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.